The wood stool comes unassembled, so you take the tapered side and you add a little bit of white glue and you stick it inside the hole and give it just a little tap with a mallet. After you've attached the legs to the stool, flip it over and just give it a little bit of a rocking test. If you notice that there is some rocking, then one of the legs isn't far in enough. So give it a little tap and then test it again. I cut a piece of wood that is 1/2 inch smaller than the top of the stool, and this is what I'm going to be stapling my punch needle piece to. I'm using a gripper frame to stretch the monk's cloth. And I really like using it because it's very quick. So you place your fabric on top. And then you just stretch the sides like this. And you just keep going all the way around. I know it's nice and taut. I made the drawing 1/2 inch bigger all around, and the reason why I did that is so that when I'm stretching the punch needle piece around this wood disc, the edge will have a punch needle surface rather than the monk's cloth showing. So I placed my design on the back of the frame with the image facing down, and I'm going to just take a pin and just hold it down. You can also use tape. So I'm holding up my frame to a light source so that I can see the drawing underneath, and then I'm just going to trace it with a marker. And it's important to use a permanent marker so that when you're punching it doesn't rub off on your yarn. The finished side of my stool is going to be this pile side. That's the side that has the loops. This here is the flat side. That was the side that you saw me working on. So before I staple this onto the board, I'm going to trim a bit of this fabric. For stapling, I'm using the JT21 size. I find that this one is a little bit easier to handle than the heavy-duty staplers. And I'm using the 3/8 of an inch size staples because my board is 1/2 inch thick. So flip your piece over so that the back side is facing up, and then place your board on top in the center. And start by stapling just 4 sides. That way you kind of have the piece in place before you start stretching it. And you can see when I'm pulling it up, the sides there, the punch needle is on the edge. So as you go around, you're going to pull this up as tight as you can, and then kind of fold over the overlap, and then staple. And if you find your staples don't go all in all the way, just take a hammer and then just pound that in. So as I go around, I'm just sort of pulling it and overlapping the fabric. And you can see it's sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to take a hammer and hammer it. That way it holds it really nice and tight. So just keep going all the way around until the whole piece is stretched. Here's the finished piece all stapled. What I would do is put some glue along the edge here where the staples are and then trim off all this extra fabric.